Alright, what's up everybody? As mentioned in the comments section of my video explaining that Cold War had been fixed, some people actually asked me what my settings were to keep it running smoothly and to prevent crashes. For those of you that don't know, I've been streaming Cold War for the past few days and there have been absolutely no problems. I'm actually going to go through my settings right now to show you how you can get it nice and smooth. This is the same in combat. You can watch my streams if you need to, but the frame rates are only, well, I mean, I stream in 30 FPS, but roughly when I'm seeing the action, there are no problems. First of all, okay, you're going to go into the graphics settings, all right? Windowed full screen. Now, this is because I'm a streamer. If you are not a streamer and you do not need to Alt-Tab, okay, please, by all means, use the full screen mode. Why? The full screen mode will have less problems than the windowed full screen. If you are a streamer and you need the windowed full screen, use it. All right, that's your best option. Please disable your gameplay VSync, disable your menu VSync as well. Okay, these are not necessary. Your NVIDIA Reflex low latency should be set to normal. Try not to go boosted, because if you go boosted, although it doesn't show any impact on VRAM, it can cause crashes, especially if you are on GTX 1080 or lower. Okay. Render resolution should be set at 100. Do not go beyond 100, all right, because there's no point. You would just increase VRAM usage for making everything look sharper for literally no reason, all right? 100 is enough for you, okay? If you have a problem with 100, you can go to 105. That was literally the maximum that I would do. Okay, I would try not to go to 105, but if you want to, you can. All right, but this is the absolute limit. Please do not go beyond that. Field of view, please set it to 120. Previously, I used to be a hardcore believer in 100, but actually what I learned recently from a very important article is that if you set it to 120, you get better frame rates. This is actually known on Warzone as well, so I tested it out myself and I found it to actually be true. I get better frame rates with 120. Okay, so that is another important thing. Field of view should be affected. Your vehicle aiming field of view affected. Your HDR should be disabled. Now, if you have a high-end graphics card, you can put it on. It doesn't like affect your VRAM usage very much, but it has been known for streamers to cause problems, especially for me, so I often disable this because there's no need. Frame rate limit. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. You need to set your frame rate limit to match your monitor's refresh rate. Now, if you have a 144 monitor, I suggest setting it to 140, all right? Or you can go down to 120. If you have a 165, you should be setting it to 165. This is actually different now. On the weekend, I'll probably do the Vanguard settings, but on Vanguard, you can't go this far. So as a streamer, what I do is I set mine to 150. Why? Because 30, which is the FPS I stream at, and 60 are somewhat divisible by 150. Okay, basically, it would capture 2 frames out of the 5. You're getting what I mean, right? If you would stream at 60 FPS, it would capture 2 frames out of 5 that you would get for 150, all right? Because they're divisible by each other. But some people choose to drop it down to 120, up to you. For me personally as a gamer, I like to have the highest frame rate possible. I tried 165 on stream, and the biggest issue is that multiplayer, when the action gets really heavy, you will drop some frames. But this is on your stream side, not on your gaming side. So as a gamer, set it to your monitor refresh rate. If you got 165 monitors, set it there, all right? If you don't, then you can drop it down. But as a streamer, if you want to make sure your stream quality is good, please set it to 150, okay? Menu, custom frame rate, 60 is fine. And your minimized game frame rate, you should actually set it to 30. If you stream in 30 FPS, set it to 30. If you stream in 60 FPS, set it to 60, especially when you're alt-tabbing to deal with chat, things like that. You can set it as such, all right? For if you somehow prefer it, right, setting this to 90 in the menu will not have a heavy impact, just so you know. You can set it to 90 in the menu and there's no problems there. Okay, but minimize game frame rate, I tend to drop it all the way down to 30. Okay, this is because when the game is minimized, there is no issue. Yeah, so I set it to 30 often. Menu custom frame rate, I usually set it to 60. All right, this is my stream settings. For if you're just gaming, you can set it like that, and you're totally fine. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna put the settings back because I'm lazy tomorrow and I don't want to do it again. Texture quality, okay, this one has the heaviest impact on VRAM. Okay, if you're just gaming, you will easily get 165, 150 frames with texture quality high. Now I've got 8 gigs of VRAM. All right, so texture quality high, not a problem. But if you're streaming, texture quality medium. Reason is because look, your limit here, okay, is 80%. Okay, you do not actually want to go higher than 60%. The actual consumed amount when you're streaming should not be more than 60%. That is your absolute limit. In fact, 50% is ideal, which is why I try to keep it below 4K. Okay, so that is why I set texture quality down to medium. It doesn't really affect how things look very much. Okay, model quality can remain high. If you really want to, you can drop it down to medium. It's up to you, but I just keep this on high because it's okay. You don't need to download this unless you really want to. Special effects quality high is fine. Okay, screen space reflection doesn't have much of an impact on VRAM. You can have it up if you want, but I just keep it low because there's no reason to do so. Object view distance should be high. Water tessellation disabled. Volumetric lighting, you can leave it high. Shadow quality, you can have it high or medium. Honestly, high is okay. If you're really struggling, you can drop it down to medium, but high is fine. Dynamic shadows, self only is good enough. In fact, you can disable this if you want to, but self only is fine. Special effect windows, shadows, sorry, disabled. Weapon shadow disabled. All this ray tracing disabled. This is because I'm on a 1080. Okay. Anti-aliasing, you can leave it as high. All right. Ambient occlusion, you can leave it as high. Motion blur, disabled, please. Unless you somehow like motion blur, but that's a fucking terrible idea. I don't know anyone that likes it. Subsurface scattering, you can, even if you were to put it as enabled, it doesn't really have that much of an impact, but I prefer it disabled because enabled can sometimes cause crashes. I don't know why, but it happens. Okay. Order independent transparency. Now this one has a high impact on VRAM. You'll notice if I have set it to the highest, I am getting very, very close to bursting that cap. I do not ever want to burst that cap. So I actually decided to just disable it because whatever. Okay, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to affect you very much. All right. I mean, unless you really, really, really want to peek at the guy that's hiding behind the windows or something, most of the time you'll be able to spot them. So it's not a big deal. All right. So disabled is fine. VRAM target usage target, set it to 80. All right. This is because 80 is just generally the safe amount. All right. You don't need to go any higher than that. You don't need to go high. You don't need to go low. Okay. Just 80 is good enough. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, if you're not streaming, okay, you can afford to, I would say, get close to 60%. Okay. So putting the texture quality at high or maybe adjusting some of the other stuff to high, up to you. All right. But if you're streaming, definitely this has the biggest impact, and it can cause crashes if you're streaming at the same time. This is because if you're using your GPU for streaming, like most people do to get good quality images, similarly to what I do for filming, you will want to make sure that you are not overusing VRAM. All right. Because it's just going to make your videos and your stream look worse. Okay. So watch back your own streams and you'll see how it's affected. All right. And that's all you need to know settings wise. I mean, audio settings, you guys don't need to worry about that. Yeah. And basically it'll look like this. All right. I know this is just a preview window. This is not exactly in combat, but it will look like this. The details are still good. You can see the details on the weapons, and combat should be fairly smooth. Okay. So I hope that this helps, and enjoy the video. I will see you all on the next one. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to keep my channel going, you want to support it, you can drop a tip via the link in the description of the video. You can join as a channel member, send super thanks on YouTube, or purchase Asian Robot merchandise. Also, last but not least, thank you to the Throne of Honor, Puni Puni OnlyFan, Nate the Great OnlyFan, JB Best Prestige, Zach NFG Prestige, the Forgotten Prestige members. Thank you very much. Also, biggest thanks to our December's top supporters: Bravo7910, Crampy D, Johnny Nara, FNX Killer 43, Zavi Uzumaki, Alcorn 0511, Alien Frost 80, Kazmanta My Lovely Girl, Zach NFG, Soul Cracked, Galaxy Train, Puni Puni, Rogue Assassin, Ashaz Guardsy, Lucas Graham. I'm a Boxhead. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you all in the next one, okay?